All right, everybody, we're super excited. We have Joel Freeman with us. Yay.
Hi.
One of our all-time favorite trainers. Like they know we have, super crush. Yes. Like,
well, we go back, y'all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been years at this point.
Yeah. We still have our tank top that says Dirty Chest on it.
That's how long ago, because you said dirty chest and everyone just went, huh?
What?
Like what? Whose chest is dirty? Maybe they need to take a shower or something. I don't know.
No.
It's an old workout joke from when you were teaching the chest presses for people that aren't familiar with programs that were 9-10 years old.
I can still see it in my head. So yeah.
It was a fun one, man. It was called Les Mills Pump. And people are always like, where can I find it? I'm like, I pretty much think you have to find it like on eBay. If you want it. But and I see pictures like, the Facebook will pop up those time warps where it's like, hey, remember this from 9 years ago or 10 years ago? And you see that, you're just like, whoa, I had a little baby face. Like that was before I could grow facial hair. So I really had the long sideburns. They like to here. It was definitely the style. And I knew back then.
I agree. Yeah, we had some big blonde hair.
Yeah,
and straight across bangs. It was rough.
Yeah, we still have some of those pictures pop up too.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh, man.
So we have followed you because we did fall in love there with the workouts. We followed you to LIIFT 4 and then 10 rounds. So do you want to talk a little bit about 10 rounds since it just came out on BOD or Beachbody On Demand for people?
Sure. Yeah. For those of you uninitiated in coach speak and Team Beachbody and coach speak and everything like that. So BOD stands for Beachbody On Demand, and 10 rounds is my newest program that just came out, all access, which means if you have Beachbody On Demand, you have the program. And it started, we came out on Friday the 28th, and now it's in the it's called General Access Library. So it's there. And that's going to be, at this point, because it's one of the newer ones, it'll pop up right there. And 10 rounds is a program that was a lot of fun putting together. It was a labor of love. And the fact of the CEO of Beachbody, Carl Deichler, and I, we talked about it and said, this is something we want to do. We wanted to bring, at the time, what was really trending upwards in the boutique studios were boxing gyms, and bringing a fun feel to people. Those boutique gyms were bringing a fun feel to boxing, where they had the bags and they had the music and they had, all this fun vibe happening with lights and stuff, especially here in California. Like LA has just been popping with places. And then, so there was that, we wanted to bring that fun element to it. But then also for me, I at the time was training a boxing gym, and I had my own boxing trainer and getting my butt handed to me a couple of times a week. And I loved it. And it's something that even through all the years of other stuff I've done with MMA and things like that, boxing is something I've always come back to. It's what I love. Right. And weightlifting and boxing are my two things. And so I wanted to take the world of what was happening in the boutique studios with the authentic world of boxing training and push them all together into a 6 week program, which ended up being 10 rounds. But it took a year. It took a minimum. It was about a year of working on it, testing it, trialing it, starting over. I started over more than once on the design just because it just wasn't feeling it, wasn't vibing. And then finally it started clicking. And then during that time of planning, we decided to, it's obviously pre-COVID, because now it's like, oh my God, I can't believe you did this. We traveled and we filmed in 6 different cities across the country. We did a 6-week road trip, and we did big events along the way, and it was amazing. And you want to talk about timing on that one. But that's really what it ended up being. 10 rounds is a 6-week boxing, conditioning, strength training program, 5 days a week, workouts 30 to 40 minutes. And it's just fun. It's just really fun. And I think that's what people are really gravitating towards so far over the past few months of doing it. And even the first few days of people doing it, when the all access is there, even though you're punching air, everybody has some aggressions to get through, especially nowadays. And, homeschool just started. So I think everyone is just, they're like, oh my God, give me something to visualize hitting. And so I think, what we planned for the program to be, which it ended up being that, but then so much more because of the fact of how this year has gone and the aggressional aspect of it, but then also the travel aspect of it, because there's so many people that are stuck at home. And now, we filmed in such amazing places. We filmed here in LA at the studios, but then when we went up 55 floors in Las Vegas at the Palms and filmed overlooking the Las Vegas
That was awesome.
night, right?
Yes.
It was freezing that night.
I can tell.
Oh my God. Like if you listen in some of those workouts, it sounds like I'm slurring.
Yeah.
My face was frozen.
Yes.
I couldn't feel my lips. Like my tongue was frozen. So we filmed it, and we filmed in January and February. So
you really lucked up,
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, so we ended up, we wrapped in Philly. And we wrapped like on a Thursday, the first weekend in March on a Thursday. And my dad was there, Brianne was there. So we hung out on Friday. It was rainy and crappy. We were supposed to stay till like Sunday. We're like, no, let's just go home. So we came home on Saturday. Everything locked down that next week. Like that was
crazy.
You want to think about the fact that we had a massive crew. We had the bus, we had the trailers, the trucks, we were flying everywhere. And, I was doing the coach events on top of that. So I was meeting thousands of people every single place we went. Nobody got sick. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got injured. Nobody got COVID. Nobody got nothing. So it really was,
it was meant to be. It was really meant to be. Yeah.
It's nice now, like when I pop one on, because I like to do like where you have just like a leg day or just an arm day. I love those because even if I'm doing something else, I can mix those in.
Yeah.
And it just feels like, okay, like this is like I can escape because I feel like, okay, this is pre all the crap. Like, I can just hop on and it feels like normal world, like because you are moving around. It's,
Yeah, it's fun to see different
times of the past.
Yeah.
Which we'll get back to. I know
exactly.
we'll be back before we know it. We'll be traveling and meeting people and hugging people again. I can't wait for the live events again. But you're right. And that's a big thing for me when I make these programs. So between LIIFT4 and 10 rounds, I always want to make sure my programs are obviously specific in terms of what they do. And, so LIIFT4 is obviously a weightlifting program. 10 rounds is obviously a boxing cardio conditioning program, but it still has a strength training element because that's very important.
Right.
But I also want them to be generic enough in a sense where you can take your favorite workouts, like you just and throw it in there. So if you're like, man, I have some aggressions. I'm just like, got some anxiety. I want to, just get my butt handed to me. Then you can just pop in your favorite 10 rounds workout.
Yeah.
And then those weightlifting ones are great too, because they're time under tension. So that they're fairly short in timing, but boy, they whoop your butt. So, and then with LIIFT4, it's the same thing. The 4-day-a-week calendar was 100% meant for the people who are working, and it was meant for that one thing that people always say, that the barrier to fitness, which is I don't have time. And that was exactly what LIIFT4 was meant to be. And then you can find those favorite ones and pick your favorites and choose it, because that's how you keep going. And stay
absolutely. You have to find what you love and then blend, because I love a couple of different programs. So I like picking and choosing.
Right.
And then when I was dedicated doing LIIFT4 round after round after round, I did notice people like, how can you get in shape 4 days a week? And I'm like, dude, this is the best shape I've been in. And all I'm doing is the 4 days. I wasn't doing anymore.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
And we weren't even like pulling like the LA, like we were straight up like Nashville, like we're going to go eat hot chicken. We're not getting on our bike. Like it was just the 4 days.
It was like, sure, you can go do your run. You can go do your hike or whatever. I'm like, Joel, no, you told me 4.
We showed up 4 days.
Yeah. Some people love that. And look, that was, what we did on that was, we looked at and I say we, so, we start looking at these programs, it's always me and the, CEO of Beachbody. And then there's a fitness and nutrition team at Beachbody, and there's always one person in that team that's assigned to the project. And so my F&R director, she and I have worked together since quarter force days. So she was part of Les Mills a little bit on the Beachbody side. So her name's Elan Eaton. And so I've worked with her for every single program. She's doing my F&R. We work so well together, and her two things are boxing and weightlifting as well. And that's been great. But so that's what the we is. So it's always nice to have a sounding board and think, and then we test it, and it goes off these teams of people to look at it and test it. But when we looked at all that and we looked at the science, and it was all these things of saying, look, I kind of went backwards a little bit in terms of saying, okay, let's reverse think this and think about what are people saying are the reasons why they can't work out. What are all these excuses? As opposed to saying, here's the answer. Well, let's find out the problem first. Right. We know what problems are. We know that people are obese. We know that people are overweight. We know that people are stressed and time, and the cortisol levels are through the roof right now and all these different things. So with LIIFT4, I was like, let's look at the problems not just the problems, but let's look at those reasoning that people have. And that's really where LIIFT4 was born from, was based on that time. I don't have time to work out. I can't work out for more than 4 days, and for more than an hour's too long to work out. So that's where all that came from. And we looked at the science then of saying, okay, if I only have 4 days a week, how can I get you the best possible workout in the shortest amount of time? And that's, so, we really looked at that. And man, I think, 2.5 years later, it's still one of the top stream programs on Beachbody On Demand. So I think we hit it. I think we hit that nail on the head perfectly. And that's awesome to see that, because that was really what I was hoping for. And like you said, and I think it showed a lot of people too, you don't have to kill yourself. You don't have to work out 60 to 90 minutes every single day and all these things, because on top of, we all know nutrition's huge, but so many, even though we know that, so many people still equate exercise to weight loss. And so, they're going to be like, oh my God, I'm only working out 4 days, so I'm not doing enough. It's like, well, you actually don't have to work out at all and still lose weight. It all comes back to your nutrition. But, I think that people are starting to, they realize, number one, the correlation, but they're also realizing they don't have to kill themselves working out to get the results, which is huge.
I think one of my biggest excuses, and LIIFT solved it, I hate cardio.
Me too.
And I do. I do.
I have a t-shirt in my closet that says cuck fardio. With the letters, they'll tell you.
So I mean, the HIIT is perfect, because I was able to go all out, and it's still, I was the most defined.
Because I mean, you were still burning calories, and then I just loved I would look forward to it, because the lifting part was almost like meditative, because you're just having to focus on it. So I think that helped me get through the HIIT part. And I knew, all right, where's that circuit day? Where's that circuit day?
Yeah. Well, one HIIT goes by fast. For those who don't know, HIIT, HIIT, high intensity interval training. And it's something that is definitely, it's been around for a very, very long time. I was doing iterations of HIIT back in the day. I mean, I was doing CrossFit back before even people knew what CrossFit was in my early 20s, and I got back injury to show for it. So, but with HIIT element, the science backs it, where it is the most efficient use of your time to get that cardio feeling, because what it really is all about, because look, cardio is calorie burn. That's all people are doing it for. We also, and we know there's obviously other things, but the other benefits associated with it, but we know that's the number one thing. So with the HIIT element of it, you get, in terms of very similar caloric burn for longer durations of cardio. So it's harder, but you work shorter, you can work harder, and the benefits are proven to be even better than just traditional cardio.
And
I'm not running.
You could definitely tell you put in so much thought into each HIIT move too, because I wanted to cuss you every time that it was shoulder day, and then you'd be like, all right, well now you're going to do mountain climbers. All of the HIIT moves also were what I would consider a strength move.
Or
no, it was
triceps to the very end, Joel. Let's do tricep push-ups I'm like, let's land on my face. That's fun.
Well, it's called a burnout for a reason. But everything. So that's a big thing. And for me, when I'm writing these programs and designing them, I'm very meticulous in, I'm an Excel spreadsheet junkie. You give me a good Excel spreadsheet, I start drooling. I'm like, oh, that's so pretty. So all of my programs, that's where they are. That's where they live, is on a big Excel spreadsheet. And I'm just writing it out and then looking to match it up, and put formulas in there to make sure they all match and all these different things. But that's using the technological aspect of it to make sure that it is in line and it does match up and it is working. Because again, people only wanted a 30 to 40 minute workout, so it's like, all right, fine, I'm gonna give it to you, but you're gonna work in that 30 to 40 minutes. There's not a lot of downtime in 10 rounds. So your long and LIIFT4, both of them actually. The longest break is 60 seconds. So it's cool if you want to do it. If you want to work out shorter, then you got to go in there and get it done. But no, I always save the fun stuff for the end. You know that.
I know. I love it though. I mean, it's totally worth it. And I love the passion that you put into it, because it gives me the results I want without me having to figure it all out. So,
and it's supposed to be fun. It's, even when we're filming these products, so there's so many people that they get into this world and they're so intense and they're so serious. I'm like, you guys, we're making a fitness program. Like
Yeah.
this should not be, this isn't that intense. It's not like, this isn't that big of a deal. And so you guys know me, I'm just a guy that wants to have some fun and get the job done and have a good time and have a good experience. I want everybody around me to have a good experience while we're doing it and have some fun, because that's really what's going to keep you coming back. And I think that goes back to my years of teaching group exercise classes, was to provide a good experience. And the better experience you provide for your class, your participants, the more they're going to come back and they're going to tell people about it. That's where referrals come in, right? Referrals is the number one way a business or anything can be successful. So it just goes back to giving people a good experience. And that's what I've, with my solo programs with 10 rounds and LIIFT 4, where you have, kind of more creative control and 100%, say, you never get 100% say, but you get more say in it, was to, that's what I want the end user to feel like. And regardless, even with 10 rounds, it is more of a technical program. So I know people are going to feel a little bit lost and feel a bit more frustrated, but still at the end of it, for them to be like, man, that was really hard. I don't know. I can't wait to do it again tomorrow. No, like to have something. So if you get them that good experience, they're going to keep coming back no matter how hard you beat them down.
Yeah.
Which is good.
I agree. And you do give them that hope, like on 10 rounds, you do have to learn it. But the fun thing is learning it and the next day coming back and getting that step or that combo correct. You feel accomplished.
And I was kind of worried, like, because everybody made 10 rounds. So people haven't tried it yet. You should go try it. Because everybody said it was going to be so hard. And I'm like, no, I felt like little Creed in there, like, doing my jabs and stuff. I'm like, this is like, just give yourself some grace and it's a lot of fun.
It's empowering.
Yeah. I've discovered with 10 rounds, I discovered that the only bigger babies than babies are adults.
Yes, I noticed like on those, they're like, but I can't. And you would get on there and go, oh my gosh.
Oh, I have at it, because it's interesting where we as adults tend to, we don't have anybody telling us we have to stick with it. Like when you're a kid and you ride your bike, you fall off. Your parents tell you to get back on and keep doing it. Like that's the only way you're going to learn. And this mind to muscle connection, I think we're losing more and more every year as technology advances. And that's why I'm a big proponent, as we said, like I'd rather tinker in my garage, go ride jet skis, get on a dirt bike, than sit on my computer or my Instagram. Like I want to get out there. I get nervous energy if I don't do something, but I think our new generations, they don't have that same feeling as we do. And so I think that's what's happening is our populace is starting to slowly lose that drive to try to physically learn something new. Mentally, it's easy.
What does for your mental health too? Because I think that even having to learn those routines and having the mind-body connection has to be good for you mentally too.
It's such a mental aspect of it. And this is why in the boxing world, why Parkinson's disease is a massive part of boxing right now, where people who have been diagnosed with Parkinson's are going into boxing gyms, and there's classes for them to work on it, because that's what's being affected. So it's huge, and it's great to watch them go in there, because you can see the difference of the people who are still really trying to work on it versus the people who haven't and they've given up, and then you can see they're just so much higher up on progression, the ones that just stopped. So there's something to it, and there's something to firing those neurons to get them going. And but I think, look, a new iOS comes out on our phone and people freak out because they don't know where their home button went. So I just like to help remind people, it's like, look, you guys, it's new. It's going to take some time. And, people are always like, well, you and the cast do so well. Well, I hope so. How are you going to, if we come up there and we don't know, like we know what we're doing, because someone had suggested, like, well, you really need you need to have a beginner on the screen. I'm like, if we had a beginner on the screen, that's all you would focus on. You'd be like, what is that person's problem? They don't know what they're doing. That's not the purpose of these videos. These are instructional videos.
You need to be able to grow with it. Hopefully they're going
to we need to show you. That's why I made sure all of our cast were they've all had boxing experience. That's why they were all fit, because they have to showcase perfect form, perfect technique. And that's exactly what it's all about, is to show people how they can progress to it. But adults are a big bunch of babies for sure. I just like to keep reminding them that. And I'm the same way. Don't get me wrong. I'm the same way too. Like we all have our moments where stamp my feet and hold my breath. I'm like, I don't want to. But, you know, you just got to, you got to, if you want to, everybody wants, you know, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people just want to lose weight and they want to see results and they don't want to do anything different.
Yeah.
So, you know, getting outside your comfort zone is where that change is going to happen. And 10 rounds is a really good program to push you outside your comfort zone.
Yes. Yeah. Because it's not instant gratification with anything.
No.
In 10 rounds, you have to, oh, wait, crap, I stepped up on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
So I have to go back and like, I'm the perfectionist. Okay, I'm going to get this right this time. Right. So
but everyone, I mean, we messed up in the filming, you know, like, and we shot live, we didn't cut. There was moments where all the team messed up. I mean, I still mess up. I mean, I'm obviously not going to the boxing gym right now, but you know, when I do go back, I'm really getting my butt whipped because it's been a while. But when I would go through drill, you know, mitt sessions and things like that, I would mess up. Everyone messes up. It's human nature, but it's just that constant practice, that constant repetition that just keeps you going.
Yeah. I think like you focus on fun and like, you know, you focus on that experience. And I think that's what makes it different. And like that keeps people coming back and like wanting to practice it.
Yeah. And it does help with the aggression. I was going to just throw out there too, I'd forgotten, you mentioned it, but core de force.
Oh yeah.
Core de force came right with, right when I was getting the very beginning of my divorce. I just moved into my new house and man, I was uppercut right and I was like,
you were ready. You were ready for it. Put a bag up with a picture of it. Core de force was fun.
Yeah.
We had a good time on that one, and it was and that was probably one of the more technical programs that Beachbody has in their library. You know, Jericho McMatthews and I put that together. It was our first, it was our first program being Beachbody super trainers exclusively. So it was a big learning curve for us. That was also, you know, Core de Force was right in the middle of a lot of transitions in the world of Beachbody, in the world of digital. You know, we were still tied to disc space.
Right.
So that's why, you know, it was still that like 14 workouts and a bonus, but wait, call now and you get another workout. So there was all that stuff. And so we had to make something that if we made it today would be so much more broad and simplistic in a lot of ways in terms of progressions and things like that. But we weren't able to do that because we were tied to disc space. So we obviously had to do it a different way. Still a great program. Like you go back, you want a good, it's a full on for people that don't know, Core de Force is a 30-day MMA style training program that Jericho and I did. No equipment needed. It's all body weight as well. So
that's perfect right now because everything's pulled out. So
no equipment. You know, dynamic strength and power sculpt, the 2 days that you're not using, we just use your body weight against you. Very Brazilian jiu-jitsu like training. They're intense. They're good, man. I mean, I was probably 15 pounds lighter when we filmed that program. So if I went and tried to do it now, I would die. So it's good. It's a solid program, solid training. So I highly suggest. I don't do a lot of kicks anymore just because it is for me and my, you know, because I do have some lower back issues from years ago. But it's again, that goes back to like why boxing is such a passion for me. But it's a great program and we love it.
I love all of them. I do. Like I have to, you know, anytime Joel comes out with a new program, we're on it.
Oh yeah, we have to do that one.
Yes.
Nice. Thanks for that. Appreciate that.
Well, thank you for always making a good one.
Yeah.
So far so good.
Yeah.
And I have to just tell people, like, because I mean, I think every Beachbody trainer we've met, we've really liked, but like, you know, and there's not a bad one, but I just love like everything that you do is like exactly who you are.
Yeah.
Like you just are always who you are. It's nice.
Yeah. Like who you see right here is who you're going to see if we were to meet you at Walmart or wherever.
Yeah. So.
Pretty much. I mean, that's always been an interesting facet to me. When I hear different about other people and just in general, and I'm always why it doesn't make sense to me. But I think a lot of it is just look. There's a lot of people out there that want they want to be famous. They see what famous people have and do and all this stuff, and they want that. That's why so many people move to California, right, to get discovered and be an actor and this and that. I didn't do any of that. I moved back to LA to take a job because I'm originally from here. My family lives here, and I moved back here to take a job at Gold's Gym. So I did not come back here to be famous or be an actor or any of that stuff. And it never, any sort of fame I never even thought about. And, you know, the fame that is being a Beachbody super trainer, it's still very, very minimal to, you know, in comparison to anything else in the, you know, the movie world and stuff like that. But, you know, the big events that we do, it gets a little crazy, but, I think it's just because I never really cared about any of it. Like, you know, if it could disappear tomorrow and I wouldn't act any different, that's been a big thing. And, you know, also, I think you got to recognize all the people that are making this happen and the people that have made it happen. And that's a big thing for me is, you know, great. I wrote LIIFT 4 and 10 rounds, but I had some amazing people helping me with the input. And then we had a whole crew of people at the office making sure that all the test group people got their videos. I mean, the busy work that happens to make these programs happen, the busy work that happens to make Beachbody such a successful company, Team Beachbody coaches, you know, there's 500,000 of them. I think that, I mean, that's where the gratitude really has to come from on my end. And I think it's crazy. I never understand the people who don't have that, because if you guys all disappeared tomorrow, I don't even have a job at that point. Like I actually have to go job hunting. So, you know, I think gratitude is huge. I think that's where a lot of people who are going after the fame and the fortune tend to forget that. And I feel like they're missing out on that a little bit. And so that's my big thing, is always making sure that people know that I'm very grateful for them. Like, even if someone comes up to me and says, "Oh my God, you're Joel from this," and I'm like, "Yeah," and then like, I'll talk to them. I'm gonna say, "What's up? You want to take a picture? You want to take a?" Yeah, because it's like they took time out. They're whatever they're doing to come say hi to me. So I think that's cool.
Yeah, you are very approachable, and like we're saying, we're not picking on any one trainer, but some trainers, I mean, or people in general, celebrities in general. You feel like you can approach some of them, and others you're more intimidated by, and you're just very approachable. So never feel nervous.
I'm not intimidated. No. Yeah, I'm not intimidated at all.
No.
I don't think I am.
No.
Yeah.
And I was just going to say, I think the fact that we like to play the same ways too. Like, I mean, Mom has got the whiskey.
Oh yeah, you know, I like my whiskey. I know people think that's odd, but I love
I think it's awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm like, what's your favorite whiskey?
Yeah. I got a lot of them at this point. Yeah, you know, I think that's what's so much fun about whiskey, is the fact that you know, everyone has their drink of choice and their flavor of choice. You know, and for me, whiskey and Scotch are those things that I like to just have in the evenings and sip on. And you know, it's like Scotch is kind of my winter drink. I think like
Scotch. Maybe
like I don't drink it much in the sun. I don't drink it much in the, like when it's hot out, because Scotch reminds me, because it's very peaty. It has that woody flavor, so it's very campfire like. So it makes me feel, I'm like, you know, a little bit warmer. And you get a good Scotch and it burns all the way down, so it warms you up. But yeah, I love it too. So, you know, with the good whiskey though, it just you know, some of my personal favorites. I love the Four Roses single batch. Blanton's you can't go wrong with. What else is out there? I made a whole whiskey cart that's just a bunch of stuff sitting out there. But you know, some basic go-tos. Basil Hayden's is definitely one of my favorites. And it's such a cheap one. Like, you know, so it's not all about the price, because you can get some really cheap whiskeys that are really freaking good. You know, so it's just a matter of like going through and finding what your palate is and what you like, and just figuring it out. Even Brienne's slowly warming up to it.
Oh, really?
Well, slowly, like she doesn't like, and when I say slow, I mean like she doesn't go every time she sips it now, because she'll take a sip of mine. But there's that, and then over the past couple of years, I've gotten really, because we obviously have been going to Mexico a lot. I've really gotten into tequila añejos, extra añejos, because they're aged longer, so they bring some of that, almost that whiskey flavor into it, and are really smooth. So just having fun with it. It's fun for me.
Yeah, honestly, I think you need to try Scotch again, because the last time, or the only time we had it, was in Cabo, because you know it's all inclusive. So we're like, yeah,
it's gonna be super cheap. Yeah, you probably got like a crappy 2-year Scotch or something like that.
Yeah.
Message me. I'll send you a list.
Okay, thank you. So, all right, tell us a little bit, or our listeners, a little bit, something personal. You know, what do you like to eat? What do you and Brienne do on when you can go out? What do you do now that you're stuck at home?
Yeah, and if y'all don't know Brienne, you need to follow her on Instagram, because she's one of our girl crushes.
Yeah.
I haven't kept up with Lizzie. Well, y'all named him something.
The lizard outside?
Lloyd, the lizard. We haven't seen him in a while. I don't know. He's right outside this window. I don't know. He might be. It's been so hot here. So I think they're only coming out in the evenings right now. We got Lloyd the lizard. We got a lot of lizards around our property. It's funny. And we moved in this place. It's not a big house, but it's got a lot of brush and stuff around here. And it's, which is kind of nice because you can see it all the way around your windows. But it's, when we moved in like almost 2 years ago, like all the lizards were like this big. There was like all these little lizards running around. And they must be the ones that have stuck around because they're like this big. And they run out, you're just, oh crap, that's a big one. So, like there's some big ones around here now, and the cats love, or Kobe loves sitting out the window and just watching and chattering at them. So it's been, LA's been interesting here. We're in the suburbs of Los Angeles, so we're not in the city, and so we haven't been around any of the madness that has been this city. Obviously, it was a weird thing because because I was on the road for 5 weeks straight, didn't come home at all during filming. And then coming back from filming, we had Success Club. We had a bunch of stuff planned. There's obviously a PR tour and it was going to do a bunch of those things. So it literally went from 100 to 0 instantly because all that stuff got canceled. LA went into lockdown, stay-at-home orders, all that stuff. So that's when I made, so for me, I was doing a lot of stuff in the garage. That's when I did the post wraps in the backyard, and I was just finding stuff to do because I was losing my mind. And then slowly but surely, and then what we realized is that's also why we started going to Mexico, because what we realized is it's been so easy and you're actually around less people on the way there and while you're there than you are here in LA. Like you go to Target here, it's packed. Yeah. So we were just kind of like, you know what, let's just start. It's been cheap. So we've just been going to Mexico. We travel safe. We follow all the rules, and we haven't had one issue whatsoever. So that's what we've been doing. We've been pretty much going like once a month. For us, it's we travel safe and we follow all the guidelines and we do everything we're supposed to do. And I think that shows that. I think that's a good way to start getting back into reality. And getting back into life. So we've been doing that. I've been doing a lot of guy trips, going with the guys. We go to Colorado. We're out in the middle of nowhere on dirt bikes all day. So, that's about as social distancing as you can get. There's not even cell service. And then we go to the lake in Texas, Flats, Texas, see the guys there. So, I've been trying to do that. And then I joined the country club and been golfing a lot because there's just hasn't been much else to do. So, been a lot of that. And then Brienne, Brienne is such a creature of habit. And I think that's why she is, I know that's why she's so successful and with her health and fitness, because she can get up and do her things and be very happy doing her things day to day and develop that consistency. And that's why she's a freaking smoke show, because she just sticks with it. And she's so good at sticking with it. Whereas I'm like, I want a pizza. And, I'm a little bit, I'm more of a junk foodie and alcohol-y person than she is, but she's been, she does her thing. And then I get to do my thing. And then at night we come back together and it's perfect. So
that's really nice.
I think it's important too, for us to get a little time apart, come back together and good to go.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like when we go somewhere, like Jake doesn't care, like we'll leave him at home and we get to go do our own thing. I think it makes a difference and makes it more fun when you do get to spend time together, especially when people are like crammed together right now just because they have to be. Like you don't have to do anything. Like you can make a choice, just like you've made choices and we've made choices to get out and do stuff.
Yeah, and I think it's look, there's gonna be good that comes from from everything, and I think the good that's gonna come out of this whole year of COVID is getting people more active. People have discovered more outdoor activities, getting away from their phones a little bit, and which I think we desperately needed, and getting back into life a little bit. And I hope that sticks around. I'm excited for the social element to come back together. That's definitely the one thing that we've all missed, I think, is the social element. But for the most part, it's like that's why Brianne and I just go and when people have come and met us, some of our friends have met us, and you fly safe, you do everything, and then at that point, if you disagree, then I can't do anything about it, because that's what I said earlier. I can't argue with someone's opinion.
Right. You can only be and everybody that's in your group they can agree or not.
So. Yeah, that's it. Like-minded people. That's what you're supposed to surround yourself with anyway.
That's exactly right.
So, and if y'all are looking for the motivation, follow Joel, follow Brianne, because they are inspiration and they are like-minded. So y'all will love following them. Yep. Is there anywhere else that you want people to follow you? Anywhere that they should connect?
I would just say, so mine is at Joel Freeman Fitness, Facebook and Instagram, and Brianne's is Brianne Freeman. But no, that's where you can get all my stuff and daily posts of some sort of motivation and daily stories that usually involve the cats to some extent.
I love seeing the cats.
Yeah, the cats.
I know we got the dogs, but
yeah, there's such pains in the asses. I can't imagine having like 2 cats drive me crazy. Everybody's like, I have 2 kids. I'm like, I don't know how you do it, because half the time the cats, I'm like, shut up, because they're Bengals and they just talk all the time. So it's pretty funny. But yeah, so good on everybody that has the kids out there, because I couldn't do it.
No, I had the one and I stopped.
Yeah. Done. One's enough.
Done.
Yeah. I'm joining the Joel and Brianne club. That's it.
Yeah.
That
team no kids. I love it.
Yeah. It's us.
That did make her feel so much better, because I did see that on that live, like, no kids. And you're like, no kids.
Like, I don't know, one, when that becomes appropriate to ask, but 2, it was also nice to see, like, okay, like, it's okay not to have kids, just to have some fur babies.
Yeah, I mean, that was something that when Brianne and I first started dating, we talked about it, and we started dating in our early 30s, and she's a year older than me, and so she just turned 39. I'm turning 38 this month, and it's a part of a conversation with dating, right? And that was a big thing. Like, I never really had any interest in having a kid. I dated someone years ago that already had 2, so I got a good taste of it, and I was like, I don't want this. But when they're already there, you don't have a choice. But then with her, I was like, so do you want kids? She's like, nah, like no interest whatsoever. And I was like, perfect. Yeah. So it is interesting in the world of social media that, like, people are like, when do you guys have a baby? I'm like, when you go get one. I'm not. Yeah. So, like, and I tell them, I'm like, they're like, you guys will make great parents. And that's why my joke is like, my vasectomy says otherwise. So, Brianne gets pregnant, we got a weird issue because I can't. So, but that's our choice. And I think some people just don't understand it. I mean, look, that's just everything in the world.
Yeah.
There's just going to be some people that just don't have any sense of a filter in their brain, and are just going to say stuff. But, I think for the most part, all that stuff comes from a good place. I mean,
I think so too.
And then we've always said too, like, we're no question, our kids we have good looking kids, but we just need someone else to raise them. So no, we're good. We'll stick with the cats.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Yeah. Well, thanks for being on.
Yes, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
If y'all like this episode, make sure that you subscribe and check Joel out on Instagram.